Johann Sebastian Bach was born on March 21, 1685 in Eisenach, Germany. He was the youngest in a Lutheran family of musicians. Bach's mother passed away in 1694, and shortly after, in 1695, Bach's father had passed away when Bach was only 10 years old. Bach received most of his musical training from his older brother, Johann Christoph, who also took over as the role of his caregiver. In 1701, when Bach was 15 years old, he attended St. Michael's School in Lüneburg, Germany, and he received a scholarship for his wonderful soprano singing voice. In 1703, Bach became an organist at the new church at Arnstadt. Then in 1707, he became the organist in St. Blasius in Mullenhausen. In 1707, Bach married his cousin, Maria Barbara Bach. Maria died in 1720, and a year after Maria's death, Bach married singer Anna Magdalena Wolken. He had 20 children in total, 7 with Maria and 13 children with his second wife Anna. Some of his children were gifted musically like Bach, such as Johann Christoph, Johann Christian, Wilhelm Friedmann, and Carl Philipp Emanuel. Bach was well known for being an organist. He became the court organist to Duke Wilhelm Ernst in Weimar, Germany in the summer of 1708. Bach was one of the most prominent composers during the Baroque period. Bach's work as a composer was introspective and full of detail. His work was mainly used for the Lutheran Church. He wrote 295 church cantatas during his time of his Leipzig cantorate. His works for the Lutheran Church were full of symbolism, allusion, and were very religious. His cantatas were mainly commenced with a large-scale movement and blended with the Italian concerto style. Along with cantatas for the church, Bach composed various other pieces. His other important pieces included B minor Mass, St. Matthew's Passion, St. John's Passion, the Well-Tempered Clavier, Toccata and Fugue in D minor, Air on G string, Goldsberg Variations, and Brandenburg Concertos. Bach composed in 3 different places in Germany: Weimar, Cothen, and Leipzig. Bach was very influential as a musician during the Baroque period. Bach used German styles and techniques in his compositions and also adapted rhythms and forms from various other places, such as France and Italy. In some of his compositions, Bach used fugue, which is the repetition of a melody with slight variations, and counterpoint, which is playing multiple melodies simultaneously. Bach was very talented at evoking and maintaining emotions in his compositions. Some of Bach's works, including his cantatas, were mainly used for religious purposes in the church. Bach also influenced many musicians that came after him, including Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart and Ludwig van Beethoven. Bach was very influential in classical music. Bach passed away at the age of 65 on July 28, 1750 in Leipzig, Germany. He suffered with gradual blindness and became completely blind during the last year of his life. He passed away due to a stroke and fever. He was well known for being a singer, harpsichordist, composer, and violinist. He was especially known for being an organist. After he passed, the reputation of his work as a composer had declined, and he was mainly known for being an organist. Even though his reputation as a composer had declined, he is still one of the most influential composers during the Baroque period. He is buried in St. Thomas Church in Leipzig, Germany. Bach left a legacy of being a very influential musician. His sons Johann Christoph, Johann Christian, Wilhelm Friedmann, and Carl Philipp Emanuel carried on his musical tradition and legacy. Along with being a very well-known and influential organist, Bach was a composer, and the pieces that he composed were an expression of faith. Bach had a very substantial effect on music during this time.